Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to look at the clauses and their types. Then we're going to see the conjunction types. And after that, we're going to focus on the types of sentences based on the clauses, the number of the clauses and the types of the clauses. Now, before going through these details, it is so necessary to focus on the language pyramid. Now, in English, the language starts by something called the sound. Then one sound and more, we can come up with a word. A word or more, we will get something called a phrase. And two phrases and more, we will get something called clause. And then we will get sentence. And after that, we can get a paragraph. Now, in this video, we're going to focus on the clauses. Now, for the clauses, actually, we have two types. We have the dependent clauses and the independent clause. Now, for the dependent clause, simply, it makes no sense. So for the two types, I mean the dependent clauses and the independent clauses, actually both are sentences. But for the dependent clause, it makes no sense, no complete meaning for this sentence. So because of that, it needs something else to help it, whether it is another clause or something else, just to make a meaningful sentence. Whereas for the independent clause, it is actually a sentence with a complete, meaningful clause. I mean, it has a good meaning. Now, once we're talking about the dependent or the independent, so it means that sometimes we need to link them. So to link them with each other, to link these clauses with each other, we need some tools. These tools are called the conjunctions. Okay, now before going through that, so as you see here in the file, so we have dependent clause. So it is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb, actually, but it does not express a complete thought, or it is not meaningful sentence. Like when we say, for example, although she gets a high mark, and we stop here, okay? So like when we say, although she gets a high mark, and just we stop here. Actually, this clause has no meaning. It has nothing to be understood. It means that I am still waiting for the rest of this clause to be meaningful for me. Why is that? This is because the existence of the word although that we will see. What is the meaning of although in grammar? Whereas if I use the same clause and I say she gets a high mark, and I stop here, so I can understand something, and this sentence is considered as being a right or a correct sentence. But this one in grammar will be marked as ungrammatical because it needs to be continued to give us a complete meaning. Now, for this clause, the first one is called the dependent clause. This one, because of the existence of the word although, and this one is called the independent clause because it expresses a full, complete meaning. Now, as I've told you before, to let's say to fix the problem here in this clause, which is the dependent one, we have to link it with another clause, whether we're talking about an independent one or to add some other words. So this linking will happen by using a conjunction. So conjunctions actually in English are with the three types. We have the coordinating, the subordinating, and the correlative. For the coordinating, actually it is a word that is used to connect words or phrases or clauses. Actually for the coordinating conjunctions, And for the other conjunctions that we have, they can be used to link words or phrases or clauses or even sentences. So they are called sometimes glue words because they stick or link two parts of the sentence with each other. There are many conjunctions in English, but the most common one are the words and, or, and but. Now we will stop here just to focus here on this part, which is the coordinating conjunctions. Actually, once we are using them, if we link two clauses with each other by using coordinating conjunctions, these clauses must be independent. Okay, I'll tell you an example, then I'll tell you what is the meaning of or the type of this sentence. Okay, so simply we can go through, like, for example, she can speak French. This is a full, complete sentence. This is a right sentence, so it is called an independent clause. Okay, now the other one that I will have is she can not read French. Okay, this sentence is also full, complete sentence. It is a right sentence. It is a correct sentence. So it is called an independent clause. Okay, now suppose that I need to link or to join these two clauses with each other. So I will use a coordinating conjunction. The conjunction, based on the meaning that I will have, the suitable conjunction that I have to use here is but. Okay, I will use but to join these two clauses with each other. So simply I will say she can speak French, comma, but she can't read French. Okay, so simply what I did here is that I link these two clauses with each other and I use the coordinating conjunction but in the middle and a comma in the middle as well. Okay, so by the end, I will call this sentence as a compound sentence. I'll let you see something here. Which is the types of the sentences. So I will have a compound sentence. So simply compound sentence is made up of two independent clauses. So these clauses actually can stand alone because they express a full complete sentence or a full meaning, let's say. But I join them with each other by using a coordinating conjunction like and or but or and a comma in the middle. I'll give you some more examples. So we have, for example, the girls were painting animal pictures and Katrina spilled the paint. The other example is that Anna can go to the movies or she can go to her exercise class. So here in all, let's say in all these sentences, originally we have independent clauses. Like let's go here. The girls were painting animal pictures. So this is an independent clause. It has a full, complete meaning. The other one is that Katrina spilled the paint. This is another complete, meaningful sentence or clause. I joined them with each other by using and, which is the coordinating conjunction. Okay, now let's move now to the other type of conjunctions, which is the subordinating. Okay, I'll tell you an example, then we will go back here. Okay, so simply I will have an independent clause and a dependent one then I have to join them with each other. Suppose that I have, for example, although she gets a high mark, okay, and full stop. And I have another clause, which is she is not happy. I will start with this clause. This clause expresses full complete meaning. So grammatically, it is correct, let's say, a correct clause. It is called an independent clause. But let's look at this one, okay? Grammatically, this clause is ungrammatical because the listener to this clause will keep waiting for the rest of this sentence because of the existence of this word, which is although. Although in grammar is considered as a subordinate. Now, this subordinate, I mean the subordinate words or the subordinate conjunctions, if they are a part of, if they become a part of a clause, they will make this clause as a dependent one. Now, how can I fix this this problem? I mean, this is a dependent clause. I have to fix this problem. I can add or join this dependent clause to an independent clause. Okay, this will happen by simply adding here a comma, and I will make this one as starting with a small letter. So it will become this way. Although she gets a high mark, she is not happy. This actually makes a better sense for us. Okay, now it makes a better sense for us because we join this clause to an independent clause. So by the end, we can summarize by saying that a subordinate conjunction is a word or a phrase that links a dependent clause to an independent clause. And actually, the subordinators are many. We have words like although, that, whether, while, and so on. Now, the result will come up with something called complex sentence. So by the end, we can say that this sentence is a complex sentence. Now, what is the meaning of complex sentence? It is a sentence that is formed by adding one or more subordinate, I mean dependent clauses, to the main clause, which is the independent. So simply, I can have at least one dependent clause and one independent clause. And in the middle or at the beginning of the sentence, I will have a subordinate. Now, we have many other examples, like we have, because my pizza was cold, I put it in the microwave. Now, let us think about I put it in the microwave. Let's think about this clause alone. So we can say it expresses a full complete meaning. But let's go ahead with this one. Because my pizza was cold and I stop here. Actually, we can or we have to keep waiting for the rest of the sentence. Because of that, because my pizza was cold is considered as a dependent clause, and I put it in the microwave is considered as an independent clause. How to fix this problem or how to make this dependent clause as a grammatical one? I have to join it to an independent clause by making a comma in the middle, and the problem will be solved. This is another example where we use more than one subordinate, and it can happen. Like, although he wanted to study abroad, this is a dependent clause because it has a subordinate at the beginning. He could not go. Okay, this is an independent clause. He could not go, and it is understood as being alone because his father didn't want him to go. Now, because his father didn't want him to go, this is another dependent clause. So by the end, this complex sentence consists of two subordinates. It means two dependent clauses and one independent clause. By the end, we can say that this sentence, I mean the result, this sentence is grammatical and it has no problem, no grammatical problem. The other type of sentences that we have is called the compound complex sentence. Simply, in this type of sentences, we will get, based on the name, we will get a part of the coordinator conjunction. So we will have a coordinator conjunction and subordinate conjunction. So we will have two words, and at least we will get three clauses. Dependent and independent, and all of them are joined with each other by coordinator conjunction and a subordinate. Now, the example we have is that though Michel prefers watching romantic films, he rented the latest spy thriller and he enjoyed it very much. Now, let's look at this sentence. So at the beginning, we will have, we have a subordinate. So this is considered, this one is considered as a dependent clause. Then we have an independent clause, which is he rented the latest spy thriller. And the last one is another independent clause, which is he joined it very much. He enjoyed it very much. And it is linked with the previous one by the coordinator conjunction and. So by the end, we have three clauses. This is the first one, the second one, and the third one, and they are linked with each other by using a subordinate and a coordinator. So by the end, we have three types of sentences. We have, this is like a summary, a quick summary. We have a compound sentence. Simply, we have two independent clauses. They are linked with each other by using a coordinator conjunction. The second type is a complex sentence. It consists of one independent clause and one independent and one dependent clause. They are linked with each other by a subordinate. And the last type is a compound complex sentence. It consists of at least three clauses, and they are linked with each other by using a subordinate and a conjunction. Okay. The last point that I need to comment it is that once we say the conjunction types, we come up with the coordinators and the subordinating conjunctions, and they are used to link clauses here in this section. Of course, they can be used to link words or phrases. So we can say, for example, Anna and John do blah blah blah, or Anna or John. Anna but not John, for example. Similar to that, although somebody or something. So I can use them to join, as I've told you, to join words and phrases with each other. The correlative conjunctions, they are conjunctions used to illustrate how two words or phrases within a sentence relate to each other. Now, the most common ones, we have either or, neither nor, such and that, whether and or, and the rest of them, the rest of this list. Actually, in most cases, we can use these, the correlative, to join words or phrases. Of course, they can be used to join clauses, but the most common usage is just to use words and phrases. This is not the content of this video, so that I just say them because it is a part of the conjunctions. So that is the end of this video. Thank you for listening.